$100 when it comes to ICP as of right now is around a 34x from here. Now, even though nothing I say is financial advice, the price of ICP hasn't been doing good. We've seen, altcoins as of right now, generally speaking, pretty sharp pullback as of right now. It's not doing good. But to me, even though I'm not telling them to do anything, if my intention is the dollar cost average, I don't know why I would complain about this. Now, of course, it's not good seeing my portfolio go down when it comes to ICP. I'm totally aware of that. But I have no need to, exit anyways when it comes to ICP. All I'm doing is just dollar cost averaging. So when I take a look at something like this, yeah, sure, it may not be, that good. However, I've actually trained myself to kind of feel a way where I don't mind seeing low prices because I view it as a chance for me to lower down my average cost. So in the grand scheme of things, sure, it doesn't feel good, but I haven't given up because the price going down, sure, the sentiment isn't good. And ICP, the pullback has been pretty massive, generally speaking, ever since we saw that pretty good rally. But still, it had that pretty good rally without an altcoin season, in my opinion. So if there was an altcoin season, I could only maybe even imagine what it could do. If it did better than back then, it wouldn't surprise me, but who knows, only time will tell. But if I have conviction in a project, I would actually not mind seeing the price go low temporarily. Now, I don't want it to be low forever, keep in mind, of course, right? Why would I want that? But then, for the short to medium term, it's not something I would be necessarily concerned about, but this is just my take on this. Now, we have to consider, when it comes to Dfinity, they're doing pretty amazing things, and I think also things surrounding, the internet computer in general. Because keep in mind, when it comes to Caffeine AI, which I think is kind of the most anticipated thing surrounding the internet computer, so to speak, it doesn't have much attention as of right now because, of course, the price of ICP is not doing good, but we have to consider the fundamentals of it. Caffeine AI is supposedly the world's first ever self-writing apps platform. More specifically, it can supposedly create applications and websites just through chat. For instance, Caffeine AI utilizes, of course, AI, right? To translate natural language prompts into code, automating and simplifying the application development process. So this is basically helping applications maybe moving forward. I'm not saying developers are all going to gravitate towards that, but then at the same time, this is pretty revolutionary. Now it's kind of like, not talked about as much because the timing of the release, of kind of the announcement of it, I would say. But then in terms of fundamentals, I think this is really amazing. Now, again, if let's say I'm a developer and I maybe want, AI to help me make an application, who knows? I might even explore something like Caffeine AI, but only time will tell, and this is just a make-believe scenario. However, when it comes to $100, I get it. Again, it's around a 34x from here, but market cap at that point, considering current circulating supply, is still around 54 billion. Even as of right now, I don't view it as such an outlandish market cap because, yeah, sure, there's a pullback. What we've seen time and time again, the market goes up and goes down, goes up again, goes down again. It's just going to do its thing. But I can't control that. But still, when I just take a look at it personally for me, around a $54 billion market cap, again at the price of $100, considering current circulating supply, it's not something that would necessarily kind of surprise me because it just doesn't seem like such an outlandish market cap. The way you take a look at it is this. Ethereum reached a new all-time high during this cycle. We saw the market cap, even during this cycle, at one point, reach over 500 billion. Ethereum, despite a pretty good rally, now it's having a pullback with a bunch of other altcoins, but still. Allegedly, right, on the internet computer, for $1 worth of smart contract data, over 200 million bytes could be had, supposedly, again, allegedly I should say, whereas let's say on Ethereum, supposedly only around 44 bytes. And again, we've seen Ethereum reach over $500 billion in market cap during this cycle. Is around 54 billion to me something too outlandish? I mean, no, actually. Even if let's say we just half that, right? So let's say ICP goes like $50 in a make-believe scenario, around a 17x from here. Like even at that point, I would still prefer that in theory over Ethereum because, yeah, sure, Ethereum has had a slight pullback, but the price is still well over 3,000. You know what I mean? Even if it went to 10 grand right now, that's still less than a 3x from here. I'm not saying that when it comes to something like, the internet computer is ever going to be as popular as Ethereum. I don't think it's ever going to be that. However, just achieving a small glimpse of that, it wouldn't necessarily surprise me. And keep in mind, Ethereum did that, right, not too long ago before the pullback we're seeing right now without an altcoin season. Like, I don't think we've seen an altcoin season. And if it was able to do that then, why wouldn't ICP hypothetically, which I think is just more dynamic in terms of fundamentals, I'm not saying in terms of, popularity, but then just in terms of kind of the, vibe overall, if I think it's a little bit more dynamic, this market cap right here just wouldn't necessarily surprise me. Again, be it, let's say, ICP at $50 or $100, wouldn't it surprise me? But again, more specifically, around a $54 billion market cap, it's not something I would find too outlandish. Now, when I take a look at the Internet Computer, what I like about it as well is that it's focused on decentralized AI. Now, I've already talked about, caffeine AI not too long ago, but I think decentralized AI is also pretty cool because the AI market is expected to be worth nearly $2 trillion by 2030, according to Grandview Research. So if I feel like the Internet Computer didn't actually become worse fundamentally, just the price going down when it comes to ICP, I don't want to give up. Now, if the fundamentals became worse, then that's a different case. But if the price went down and the fundamentals, I think, are actually better than before, I still believe in it. This is the way I take a look at it. Now, of course, I'm not telling them to do anything, right? This is just personally what I'm doing. But then at the same time, the market's going to do its thing. To me, I'm just going to stay patient and just continue to stay the course in a sense where I'm just dollar cost averaging, holding, and I'm just waiting. That's it. So if, let's say, the price is lower, I wouldn't mind because I'm dollar cost averaging anyways. Now, if the price goes up, hypothetically, it's a good thing. Maybe, right? Then maybe go along with the ride. So this is just my outlook when it comes to this. I'm just keeping it consistent. So whether or not the market goes down or goes up, I'm still dollar cost averaging because I'm just waiting for a moment in which there is an altcoin season in which ICP hypothetically does something, because whenever that starts, it's beyond my control, right? I can only just stay patient, and that's about it. Whenever the market wants to wake up, it's going to be beyond my control. But the only thing I can control is myself. Now, we've seen historically how typically altcoins, as a worst case scenario, usually peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. And actually 18 months from the last Bitcoin halving event back in April of last year, that's actually October this year, which may be hard to believe as of right now because, again, altcoins are not doing good whatsoever. But then at the same time, will it happen exactly at this month? Who knows? I mean, that's based off history. But if it waits a little bit longer, I'll still be waiting. So if it even has to wait until next year, whatever the case may be, I'm still staying patient. I've been holding ICP for quite a while now. And sure, it hasn't performed the best, but I'm still staying patient and I'm just not giving up. And again, just seeing, ICP right now, and the price currently is literally below $3 slightly. I'm just going to stay patient. That's about it. I'm just going to keep dollar cost averaging. And yeah, I'm just not giving up. This is my thoughts on ICP. And I'm just staying patient. And that's about it. Things can be a certain way right now, but who knows, a month later, 2 months, 3 months. Again, only time will tell, but I'm staying patient. And I want to say thank you for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I greatly appreciate it as well. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.